What do you have? 6 million people over there in Houston. You guys have a nice
That's 6 million and 20.
6 million and 20. The hospitals are still open. Uh, we're going to do a pretty cool little segment here on some of these nights during the week, especially while all this craziness is going on, where we're going to do something called cool gear. And it'll just be, it may be the cool new gear, it might be cool old gear. Chris, I've known Chris for many, many years, and Chris has a habit of collecting some really cool stuff. Chris has a lot of old guitars, a lot of old amps, a lot of old effects pedals. And Chris, I'm just going to kind of let you go on a tour in your room there with a bunch of the stuff that you have, and talk about the history and the uniqueness of some of the stuff that you have.
Man, we'll start with this thing. 'Cause I really like this guitar. This is if y'all hear some squeaking, it's my stage lighting. It's not the kid next door.
All right.
So you might hear him too. But
Okay.
he's like 30. He yells at his video games. This is a pretty weird guitar. Maybe I'll do a little close up on it. Here's the neck, back. It was made in 1990. It's an Epiphone. Paul, look, it's backwards. It says, "Sell me your soul."
It's frontwards here.
Oh, it's backwards on mine. I see something I wish I wouldn't have seen.
All right.
But they made it in 1990. When Gibson was moving their shop out of Kalamazoo, and they didn't want their workers out of work, they took every leftover thing they had and put this together. So I'll just kind of go through it's a cornet, which they made in the 60s originally. But this one is gold from gold top paint, and it's got square inlays like a 330 or like a stereo 335 or something. And it's got the Explorer headstock flipped around. But if you look, it's got if you can see that, let's see. It's got numbers just like a Gibson, and they're dated like a Gibson, the 9 and the 0, first and fifth, made in USA. So it's really a Gibson. But the old Epiphone part, I guess, I don't know where they have the cornet bodies or why. But this one, when I got it, had a Bartolini pickups in it. I'm gonna turn off the light because it sounds like someone's crying. It's confusing me. I'm gonna let it cool off. We'll go back to it in a minute once it cools. But I took the Bartolinis out that were active, and I just covered it up and made this pick guard because it had a mini humbucker in it and then a humbucker.
Now, real quick, those are Grover tuners on the headstock too.
Let's see what they sure are. They're mini Grovers.
Okay,
They're kind of small,
got you.
but so they had a battery in it also. But someone did that when they put in those Bartolinis. So it's just a stash box now
Okay.
where I hide certain things. Gold mostly. Kruger ants. There's about a half a dozen Kruger ants. Listen. You hear them rattling?
I hear them.
But, man, it's a good sounding thing. It's pretty mellow. You can back it off. But I like it. I probably played it the next gig. I had it ready for the black and blue, but I was trying another guitar out. I'll pull up in a minute.
So is that? Are they even making any more of those? I mean, are they gonna make some more? They have plans to.
Well, they do make some cornets, but they're like probably Chinese or Korean or something. But there are some Japanese ones from the 90s that were this thing but made in Japan, but bolt-on necks, and they're actually kind of expensive because I wanted to get one in there, but they're the worst colors. They're like purple with mother of pearl pickguard. They're terrible. And on most of these were lock and tremolo things, and I think Steve Howe was playing them. The ads, I've seen some ads when I Google it, I've yet to see another one of these, but I've seen a couple of ads. And so I do search daily because I would like to find another one, like with this setup, not the locking terminal thing, but with the. It's actually looking. It's a Nashville bridge. I mean, just kind of like a Les Paul setup.
I mean, it looks like a lot of the hardware is pretty recognizable from a Les Paul.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. I put this pickup in when I took the Bartolini's out, and that was one of those Seymour Duncan antiquity things, and it's pretty good. And these are actually knobs from the '60s Gibson that I had laying around. I thought they looked good on it.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of rigged on there though, because my pots shafts weren't long enough, and I couldn't get the nut on there, so I just pushed them on. If you pull them out, the pot's falling inside there. But it's pretty tight. And I got the old school strap lock holder.
Yep.
I was just gonna hang it upside down and show you, thinking they would fall.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
All right.
But
so what amp are you playing through?
I'll show that. Let me flip my camera around and I'll show you my amp setup here. It's pretty cool. It's different. Let's see. There we go. So this, I'm using this. Can you see that?
Yep.
It's a Marshall stereo power amp. And then Doug Roccaforte, or Roccaforte, I probably said it wrong, made me this thing. It's a preamp. He made that pedal I used at the black and blue too. And I liked it so much I've got the tube version of it.
That thing's
pretty wild.
It looks like it's made in Italy, like it's fragile with the big tube poking out the top.
That tube's weird. I don't know exactly what that thing does, but it's a major part of what he builds.
Yeah.
He builds all Steve Stevenson stuff and a bunch of rock guys. And I have a friend that knew him, and he hooked me up with him, and he's actually a pretty cool dude. And he's got some health issues, and you can just call him and tell him what you want, and he'll put you in line. It took me maybe 2 months to get it. And then I'm playing through a original Tube Screamer, an 808.
Old school.
First version. And then a first version of that delay, the original Boss delay, the first digital delay. And then I use this chorus a lot. Oh, this thing's pretty cool. This is a new thing that's out. It's power supply for your pedals, but it's a lithium battery. And you can recharge it. And I've played several gigs through it, and I've got, and a few rehearsals with you. And I've got probably 6 hours use out of it with 4 or 5 pedals.
No kidding. How long is it supposed to last on a full charge?
They said 5 hours if you had all the pedals on it, and it holds. Let's see if we can get in. It'll do 7, 8 pedals, and then the one on the end down here will do 18 volts. I'm gonna flip it around. That blue light's pretty bright, but see that one on the end will do 12 or 18 volts, and this old Ibanez chorus is 18 volts. It takes 2 9-volts, and man, it eats them fast. So that was really the only reason I bought that thing, was so I could use my chorus pedal without batteries.
Okay. And
then I ended up liking it. And it kind of eliminates any kind of buzz from plugging your pedals into the power. The Marshall's pretty cool, the power amp.
All right. Talk to us about that. I see the tubes in there.
Yeah, it's all tube. It's just the power section of a Marshall. And so what I do is I like to use an effects loop on my delay. So I run it out of the output of my preamp, and it goes right into the power amp. And then on the front of the preamp is where I run my effects, my chorus, and my overdrive. So this is on its own thing over here. And then these two just come off the front here.
Okay.
And the Marshall only has 2 knobs. It's got a a gain and a presence. And those other two are the same thing. It's for this side over here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stereo, so I only have one side on. This is pretty cool. I'll show you this. One side. So it's got this kind of contour switch. See if you can tell the difference. Watch. I don't know if you can hear it, but it like turns it from a normal sounding kind of thin thing to real thick when you're playing down low.
Mm-hmm.
I usually leave it off because I get addicted at using it, and it doesn't work loud.
Okay.
So, but sometimes in my room late at night, I'm trying to be quiet, I'll flick it on, or recording or something. And then we got up here. That's my Explorer bass I had made. Okay. Those are all parts off of a 60s Gibson bass. I guess. Well, I took the bridge off a 60s EBO, and everything is the knobs. The pickup is actually a 70s DiMarzio.
That neck pickup is?
Yeah.
It looks like a big cracker, like a silver cracker.
And then it has, this is my favorite part, is I actually found banjo tuners.
Check that out. That's cool.
The Grovers, not Clusons. That's originally what came on it. This is a copy of a 50s Explorer bass, and I think they only made 2 of them. I got a magazine here. Let's see. It had a picture of one, and this is what I used to build it.
Mm.
And I actually have one of these pickups in another bass, but they're about $500, and I don't feel like buying another one. If you look right here, that's not actually a break in the pick guard. That is where the studs would have gone in for the bridge for a guitar. So the body is the exact same size as the Explorer guitar.
Okay.
It was the Explorer guitar body when Gibson made it. And it was a special order thing. There's a couple more. I had to search so hard to find this damn magazine. But there you go. You can see it good right there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But see, that's the same bridge. There was 3 knobs on it. And no one could tell me what that third knob is. Because every Gibson bass is with one pickup is a 2-knob doodad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did put the hole on mine, and I was going to put a distortion in it. But I never got around to it. And that's a picture of Lonnie Mack's band, and that guy, Jelly Roll was his name, and he played one of those basses. And Lonnie Mack had the Explorer and the V. But see, there's the third knob on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty cool thing. And then there's this old V my brother gave me. Well, it's really his, but he's never getting it back.
So he gave it to you.
Yeah. It's an 82 Carina, or 81. If you look up the headstock there, someone had their name put in it. You could send back the truss rod cover, and they'd put your name. It says William. And the day I got it, I was working at the Continental Club, and Billy Gibbons was in there, and I busted it out to show him. And he happened to be sitting with the head guy from the Gibson Custom Shop, buy it from me right there. I hadn't had it but an hour. I was like, nah, my brother bought it. I can't do it. But it's a pretty cool guitar. Remember I was telling you about Brent Flash offered me one when I was in high school. His was a yellow like that, like the bass. And I told him no. And I've been regretting it since high school. And every once in a while I'll send him a Facebook message and ask him if he'll sell it to me for $1,200 still.
And he still got it?
Yeah, he's still got it. And see, here's another Explorer. This was gifted to me by Jay Hooks.
That's cool.
It's an 81. It's called an E2. Man, this thing's got some crazy flame. It's kind of heavy is why I don't play it. Heavier than the Les Paul. See if you can see that flame in the neck.
Yep, can see it. Going left to right.
Yeah, this thing is crazy. That's the original parts. Everything's original on it, except that it's missing his truss rod cover.
Okay.
Because he took it off to set. I don't know. He takes them off everything and he never puts them back. Every guitar he has, it's missing. And if you loan him a guitar, it's not coming back with the truss rod cover. Oh, here's this is pretty cool. This is the Explorer I had made, or it's actually a Futura before Explorer. There was only a couple of these too, and that's the original headstock. How they did it in the 50s. I had like $1 million guitar, and I thought I was going to start a guitar company and build these basses and stuff. And I sold 4 or 5 of them, and it's too much work.
Yeah, the headstock looks like it was left in the sun a little too long.
That's the original. I got the blueprint, so it's to spec.
Wow.
Even the wiring and everything in it. Oh, and all the parts are vintage parts.
Yeah, that's nice.
Everything's. I had the pickups wired just like real PAFs. Actually, this is the PAF. This pickup was in my Gold Top back in the Air Junkies original days. That's this pickup I bought at Lake Charles Music.
Wow.
The first reissues of PAFs in like maybe 89. But those are original Kluson tuners. That was my problem. I tried to go like legit on parts and no one wanted to pay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you. I'm going to set the phone down real quick. I'm going to grab something from my old lady.
While you're grabbing that, I want to, let's see, read you a comment that we got on here. It's from Tracy. Tracy McGinnis. He says, "Okay, Chris, I always liked you. You're trying to make me hate you. If you want to keep...
Well,
if you,
hold on, Tracy's there.
hang on, let me finish. He says, if you want to keep our friendship, I need to ride one of your motorcycles."
Man, tell him there's a couple at my dad's.
You're telling
right
him.
Now.
You can tell him.
There's a few at my dad's right now, and if you can start it, you can ride it. You have to pull the tarp off and maybe get some dirt off. I just showed Tracy some stuff right here. This is some good guitar stuff. Tracy will like this. Man, I don't know how it's going to come out on the computer. Man, I want to talk about this Coverse 42. Oh, look at that, Tracy. Look at that. I just want to reach in and see what I pull out.
Yeah, let's see what you get.
I don't even know where to start. There's another one. There's a few boxes of these things. Man, what happened was, and I sold some of them before it was cool to have picks. The singer and Chlorine's girlfriend at the time, his best friend was dating Mike Starr from Alice in Chains. And I guess he was crazy. And he stole some suitcases at the airport and got put in jail. And when she went and got all this stuff, there was a bag of guitar picks she gave me. And I had all like Aerosmith from Japan. Oh, this is good. And I sold a few of them, but I kept some good stuff too. But look at this. This is good. Where's my camera, Paul? Damn it. Look at that. Ooh. Oh, but look at this.
Yeah.
Splatter paint.
What?
Uh-huh.
There weren't many of those.
Yeah.
And check out that font on the front. That's a pretty unique font.
That is. It's. I came up with that myself.
That's horrible, man.
Well, let's see what's in here. Let's grab something for Tracy. Let's see what we get here. Warren G's, I gave him one of them. Oh, what is this? There we go. Accept. Look at that.
Nice.
Somebody's name. I can't read it. Somebody from Accept. Let's see. We got, look, there's some Alice Coopers. That's Accepting. Oh, look, Ingves. There's all kinds of stuff in here, man. Oh, this is a good one. This is one of my favorites. This is the one for Tracy. And then I'm stopping. Look at that. Can you read that?
I can't read it. Oh, it's Malcolm Young.
Off the stage. Look at that. Grinded on by Malcolm Young.
Nice.
I actually jumped up there and took it out of his hand. I took his watch also. They stopped me with when I went for the Gretsch. They were like, you're going too far.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Keep the watch.
Keep the Rolex. Dude, I didn't know they were from Australia. When he started screaming, he was like, "Hey, mate, give me back my watch." Dude, you're from Australia? All right, I'm going to show you something cool.
Tell him your accent is fake.
Here's 2 guitars my old lady gave me. This thing's pretty cool. It's a miniature Bo Diddley. A Gretsch, like 3/4 size or something.
Uh-huh.
Got the cool Gretsch knobs. That's Jesus right there.
That is Jesus.
Red-headed
Jesus. That's a ginger Jesus. He's got red hair.
That's why I kept it.
Okay.
There's that's my older brother's head. Right there. But yeah, that Gretsch is kind of cool. I don't play for him. Oh, this is cool. This is the box that we put our money in when we sold T-shirts and the Air Junkies that Jimbo had.
The Jimbo box.
And I turned it into a guitar. It's the Jimbo Caster.
That's cool.
You can still open it and stuff. It's got some pretty cool parts on it too, like those Octagon 50s knobs and then my friend made me this bass to match it. The same guy that made the Jimbo Caster. This guy.
Wow.
Yeah, did you hear the tone?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's you don't even need to plug it in.
I see that.
All right, let me pull this out. This is it, not that. Don't. All right. My old lady gave me this too for Christmas the next year. Original Chiquita from Back to the Future with the amp.
With the amp.
Yeah, look at that. This actually came from Billy Gibbons' collection of stuff he was moving, and a friend of mine was selling off some guitars. And for some reason, Billy had about 10 Chiquitas, brand new. I don't think he ever touched it. It was just sitting in his stuff. And I was like, dude, I need this. It's got all the warranty cards and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I have to keep that because my lady gave it to me. So that's a pretty cool thing. I like weird guitars.
So, what's the for the Chiquita? What was it even used for? In other words, what music would they even play there?
Oh man, let me bust it out. It's probably not in tune because I hadn't picked it up in forever. But it was just a travel guitar.
Okay.
And originally they were supposed to float and all kinds of stuff. Let me put that camera back. But even though it's little, it's supposed to. It's not in tune, but it's to pitch of a real guitar.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
There was some kind of special line pickup. You know who designed it for him is Earl Wine. So there's actually some Earl Wine ones out there. I think they're probably more expensive. But this one's pretty cool. Candy apple red, a badass style bridge.
Yeah.
Kind of a DiMarzio rip-off pickup. Chiquita.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Man, the amp is real cool. It's a little tweed amp.
It's a little battery powered.
Yeah, just a 9-volt in the back. I used to play it quite a bit. But I will show you one more thing that's really cool. I found this at a flea market, a thrift store one day for like $20. I use it a lot. The price is on. They had $54 on it, but it didn't have any strings, so she gave it to me for 20. Maybe about 20 years ago. 54.45.
Wrote on the case.
Hey, that's the old crayon thrift store. It's only got one latch left on it, but it has the killer clear handle still. But man, it is an old Oahu lap slide. The case smells awful. It's called a Little Diana. And my buddy John Ziegler had one. And I was always like, man, I got to get one of those things. And then I couldn't believe when I walked into that thrift store that day. The pickup's actually under this cover, which is just shrunk. All the plastic is shrunk, but it all still works. It's got herringbone binding.
Wow, that's cool.
Original metal button, kind of close-on things. And it would have said there's where it says Oahu.
Mm-hmm.
Inside here it said Little Diana, but it's so faded you can't even see it. Well, that is one of my favorite things, man. I've lost my mind on that for hours at a time.
The fret markings are crazy. Just where they're at.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're spaced out for doing your chords.
Yeah.
For open tuning. But it's really more like playing a trombone. You got to listen instead of really don't look. But I'm only good on it in a couple of keys.
Yeah, that's cool.
But, man, yeah, man, it's you don't find stuff like you used to. You used to find all kinds of cool things, but these days, man, you don't walk on stuff too much.
And you're finding most of that stuff in Houston?
Yeah, just thrift store and estate sales, garage sales, flea markets. Some stuff I seek out, or you can still find stuff on eBay sometimes if someone didn't know what it is. But yeah, mostly I try to buy stuff local.
Yeah.
I'll sell on eBay a lot of things. Radios and old toys and motorcycle parts.
Well.
Car parts.
You gonna get some other stuff together to where one weekend, I don't know, maybe next week or something like that, we maybe get you back on here again and talk about some more stuff you got?
Sure, man. We can go through all kinds of stuff.
Go to your storeroom or wherever you got all your cool stuff at and grab a couple, I don't know, 2 or 3 vintage or...
Oh, we'll go down to the Harden closet. I'll just bring y'all down there where it's all hoarded with my friend David Steele. He's a maniac. He collects Japanese guitars in there. I don't even know. There's probably 100 of them in there.
Okay.
Every time I go in there, I find something. Harmonies and Dan Electros, Japanese 60s stuff, weird Alamo amps. And we'll go in there because there's some crazy. He's got Alamo guitars from the Alamo factory that haven't even been cut yet. It's like the factory shut down, and somehow or another he got the parts. A box full of stuff. I'll have to show you. It's funny, man. You look at it and you're like,
that's cool.
that's how they built that.
Well, let's plan on doing that. Let's, I don't know, pick a day next week or something like that, and we'll go look at some more cool gear. I'd love to do
Yeah,
that.
we'll go down there. It's crazy down there. I mean, it's like a episode of Pickers.
Okay.
We'll have to climb over stuff.
No, that's cool. That's perfect. Well, look, guys, if anybody else ever wants to feature in their stuff on cool gear here on Push Venue, reach out to myself or Chad Marino and let us know. And it doesn't have to be old stuff; it could be new stuff too. Something that's cool, something that's different. It doesn't have to be like the same kind of stuff that Chris has, but definitely reach out to us. We'd like to do this. It'd be cool, especially while everybody's got a little bit more downtime. It'd be fun to go through this. Chris, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, man. It's been cool going through a lot of your stuff and looking at it, and you definitely know what you're talking about. I wouldn't know half the history about the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, I see it's a problem. Hey, I'm going to reach out to you tomorrow, Chris.
All right, man.
All right.
Have a good night.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.